How's it going, everybody? It is Josh Thomas here from TheBitBlock, and I'm going to be sitting back and casually giving you my final thoughts on the Switch presentation. I know I already did a video where I talked about my initial thoughts, and I went over like the games and stuff, but I just wanted to do one more video on camera to kind of sit back and talk about it. And so I've been talking about it literally to myself, which sounds really lonely and pathetic. Out loud, too. I'm not even thinking about it in my head. I'm physically walking around my house, straightening things up, and talking out loud. So I thought, why not record that and put it on a video on the internet so it seems a little bit less insane? So, where do I begin? Well, I think I can begin by saying I have a good feeling about the Switch. I really do. I think that I don't think this is going to be a repeat of the Wii U. I think there's just there's something about it. You know, I feel like I'm in many ways like an animal, and I run my life instinctively. I'm like a panther, you know? I don't really think so much. I just have instincts on things. And I just instinctively feel good vibes from the Switch. I remember when I first saw the Wii U, when Nintendo first said, the name is Wii U, and here's the gamepad controller. I remember just feeling a sense of joy in my body go, and just fade away. I remember I instinctively knew something is not right about the Wii U. This just doesn't give me good vibes. But with the Switch, some of those little tingly good vibes have recollected into my heart, and I feel a weird cramp, but I'm pretty sure it's just joy from the Switch. This chair is squeaky. You'll have to forgive the squeakiness. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about it, honestly. You know, the presentation itself was kind of, you know, pretty good, but not great. There were certain things that were just not that interesting. There were certain games that were not really introduced to us well enough, like 1-2 Switch. The trailer for that they showed has about 1 minute and 20 seconds of two men in cowboy costumes in the desert, slowly but surely getting ready to quick draw each other. And you knew that was going to happen. Like when you started watching it, after about 5 seconds, you knew, okay, they're going to quick draw each other. But they drug it out for almost 1.5 minutes. So when you're watching this, you're just kind of thinking, all right, get to the point. I'm excited, and you're killing the hype. So 1-2 Switch, I think, you know, they just could have shown that better, you know? It's just kind of poorly shown. They could have done the quick draw thing in literally like about 8 seconds and then gotten to what the game was about. 1-2 Switch is maybe going to be a game I like. I don't know. It's weird. It's kind of not even a video game, really. I don't know if you can classify that as a video game, because there's really no, like, game. I'm sure there are menus on the screen that you have to go through to determine what game you're going to play, and I'm sure it's the type of thing that's really silly to play if you're a little bit loopy, if you've been drinking a bit, or if you're at a family holiday. Maybe your family holidays involve drunk people. I don't know, but it just, you know, it seems silly, but at the same time, it's hard to really get me excited about that, right? You know, it's the type of thing that I don't personally get excited for until I'm playing it. So maybe I'll like it more than I initially thought, but my original reaction to that was, boy, this is really boring and slow, and it doesn't even seem like there's a game there. So yeah, I'm gonna get it. That's the next thing I should point out. $50 is a lot of money for 1-2 Switch. And I know that it's like we don't know everything about it, but just the fact that clearly there's no character models really designed, there's probably not a lot of music that had to be composed, there's no like textures that had to be made, there's no 3D worlds that had to be designed, there's not a ton of programming compared to a typical game. And so I think for all those reasons, the fact that it didn't cost Nintendo a lot of money to make, it should have been packed in free with the Switch. I have a theory. And I think the theory is it's not packed in. I know Nintendo said, Reggie said that it's not packed into the Switch because they wanted to keep the price of the Switch as low as possible. But they could have given it to us for free. You know, they could have done that. They sort of did that with Wii Sports, basically. But my theory is this. Nintendo knows that when they launch the Switch, they're going to sell through all of their shipments. all of the Switch systems that go to stores are going to be sold out before the end of the holiday season. No, sorry, let me correct that. They're going to be sold out when they first ship, okay? It's going to be sold out. It's not going to be sitting on store shelves. They know that. So then they're going to test the water through the spring and the summer, and then if a lot of people are not buying 1-2 Switch, the holiday season, which is what I messed up and said earlier, the holiday season is when they might decide to put 1-2 Switch as a pack-in. Because that really is the kind of game that they would want people to be playing during the holidays, I think. I think it'd make kind of a fun summer game. Actually, it would make a really fun summer game. Because you could go outside on the patio or on the deck if you have it, or even just anywhere, and just, have the little screen with you and playing it outside in a picnic or something setting. But I do think it's a good holiday game when all the family is gathered together. So Nintendo would be very wise to pack it in during the holiday season. I think that'd be a good bundle for holiday 2017, because they know that they're not going to have any problems selling the system, its first few months or whatever, first couple seasons here. So I think that's what's going on. Then there's another game that I was kind of down on. There were two games that I was essentially sort of down on in a way and didn't really love when I first saw them. Hey, I'm being honest. I gave you my honest reaction. I didn't fake anything. And it was another game that I think that kind of showed off poorly. I don't think they did it justice. And I'm talking about ARMS, of course, which is the worst name, I think, of any Nintendo game ever. I don't know if it's too late to change the name of that, but I think that needs a name change. Or put a subtitle, ARMS, blah, 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 or something. Put another name there or something. Because that's not... hi, GameStop, do you have ARMS? Hello? Hello? It's like you're prank calling the store to ask if they have the game. But, when I've looked at it more and I've kind of given it a little bit more of a chance, I do think ARMS has some potential. It does still come across as something that should be part of a bigger package to me. It should have been like, hey, Wii Sports Resort, and instead of the sword fighting, now you've got this silly, weird, springy ARMS competition, and you're trying to knock each other into the water or whatever. I think it probably would have done just as well like that. But who knows? I do like the fact that you get to pick what type of hands you have attached to your arms. There's the various different types. I think there were 3 in the demo they were showing. I like the fact that there's different stadiums that have different gimmicks and obstacles about them. That's cool. Mario Power Tennis, take note. Not Power Tennis, Mario Tennis Ultra Smash, take note. It is possible to have multiple courts to play in. So yeah, I just think ARMS is one of those things that you probably have to play in order to get. I am hopeful. I'm going to get it, obviously. I'm hopeful that it's got a lot of characters. I think there should be anywhere from about 12 to 15 characters, all of them with cool personalities and stuff. I really do like the character designs for the most part from what I've seen. Toothpaste head guy, I like him. I want to cosplay as him. I think I might do it. And then I also, I hope there's a lot of stadiums that are really different from one another. Online play is cool. I hope there are some mini games too. I think that sort of lends itself to some really fun mini game challenges that you could try to do better in and get different medals in and stuff. So I hope they explore that game beyond what we've seen. The trailer was bad, by the way. I was saying they presented it wrong, because the trailer was just about a minute of footage of people just throwing their hands at each other. Characters just throwing their arms and hands at each other. It was just constantly that. And it just didn't seem like there was anything other than that going on. And so it got boring to me. But we'll see. I'm hopeful. It's a new Nintendo IP, and I like to support those, and usually Nintendo's pretty good at new IPs. I'd like to know what studio specifically is working on it. Maybe I can look that up in the future, but I'm a little more hopeful for ARMS. Change the name and make sure there's a lot of extra content like minigame challenges and a lot of characters and stages and stuff. But, when I picture myself playing that against friends, specifically Nick, and really because we really get so into Wii Sports Resort's sword fighting, so maybe this could be a more in-depth sword fighting thing, because we rub our victories into each other like you wouldn't believe. That sounded really weird. I didn't intend on it to sound weird, but it did. So we'll see. Could be a next version of Punch-Out. Who knows? Super Mario Odyssey. The craziest feeling a Nintendo game has given me in a long time. Okay, let's talk about the elephant in the room. The realistic world. The realistic New Donk City thing. Okay, that cannot be the overworld. That cannot be the hub world of this game. It's wrong to treat that as the main hub world. It's wrong to have pretty realistic humans in a Mario game. You don't do it, because Mario is a human. In Mario's realm of logic, he and Peach and Daisy and Luigi and Wario and Waluigi are humans. And that's what humans look like in his existence, in his games. So you can't put a realistic human in there, even if it's like, yeah, but this isn't the Mushroom Kingdom. I get that, but even then, you can't do it. I mean, look at Isle Delfino. We have Piantas instead of real people. It doesn't work. It looks bad. It looks weird and wrong. I like to think of Mushroom City. I think it's called Mushroom City from Mario Kart Double Dash. You know, it's a city racetrack that you go through. I kind of wish they would have done something like that. Make it a cartoony city. I don't know why it's realistic. Maybe I'll grow to like it. Now, I want to say something, though. Like I've just said, my beef is this can't be the overworld. You know, we've got Princess Peach's castle, Delfino Plaza, and a realistic city with real people in it. They don't work together. It doesn't make, no. So yeah, hopefully that's just a world. If that's just like, hey, it's called Super Mario Odyssey, and you go to a bunch of worlds that are odd, that have odd things about them. So in that logic, if it's just another world to go to, I'm almost okay with it. Like I said, it is weird to have a realistic kind of city with realistic kind of people, but if the whole game's like, yeah, but everything's weird in this game, and it's just a world, I'll embrace it. I'll say, okay, whatever. I'll throw my hands up, I'll put a tropical lei around my wrist, and I'll have a coconut drink, and we'll just forget it. I'll stop being so uptight about it. My neck. I said my wrist. I meant my neck. I don't know where things are on my body. I know where my hands are, thanks to the new Switch game. But yeah, okay, so yeah, that's my only beef. Everything else about Super Mario Odyssey is beyond fantastic. I loved it. I've said this before, I think, but it gave me feelings. It made me feel things. I had reactions to it they're visceral, and they were ups and downs and stuff, and I appreciate that. Even when I'm looking at that realistic stuff, and I think, oh my god, no, it's still, I feel alive. And there's something about Super Mario Odyssey that truly does feel special and unique. And so I'll give it that. And as long as that realistic city is not the main thing of the game, and it's not the nucleus of the experience where you go off to all the other planets, or not planets, but other continents or whatever, from that, I don't want that. But so we'll see. But I like it. I still like it. There's just something about that game that's really cool. You know, it's funny because I want to actually take credit and not make fun, but call out a lot of people on the internet. So for some time now, I would say probably at least 2 years, I have been saying Nintendo needs to make a real 3D Mario game. And I was being mocked for saying that. People were acting like I was stupid. And they're like, 3D World is a real 3D Mario game. 3D World is what Mario should be from now on. And I was like, no, this isn't what 3D Mario should be. And people are like, there's no rule for what 3D Mario should be. There's no template for 3D Mario. It can be whatever. As long as Mario's walking around in a 3D setting, it's a 3D Mario. Wrong. And I'm so happy to see Nintendo themselves prove me right. Because there's even a little thing on the Japanese stream. Nintendo did like a little picture that shows true 3D Mario games and then like weird hybrid 3D Mario games. So they've got like Galaxy 2, 3D Land, 3D World, and then underneath that they've got Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, and then Super Mario Odyssey. So it is so nice to see them more or less say, hey, yeah, we're going back to the way Mario should be in the 3D world. This is a big open sandbox setting. And just to hear, I mean, Nintendo is saying all the right things about Super Mario Odyssey as far as I'm concerned. It's a dream come true. It's the type of stuff I've wanted them to say. So, a sequel, a real sequel to the 3D Mario greatness that is Sunshine and 64. It's gonna be great. I'm so excited. It's weird, that reaction video, there's like a decent amount of thumbs down on that, and I don't get it. It's like, yeah, at first I was really disgusted by the realistic world, just as anybody with half a brain should have been, especially if you were like me and thinking that was like the main overworld, the main hub world. But then everything else beyond that, I was like blown away by. And the music is fantastic in that trailer too, by the way. I'm not ashamed to admit it. I downloaded the YouTube trailer, the Super Mario Odyssey trailer. I converted it to an MP3 and I listened to it on my phone when I'm like if I go shopping or something, I'm just listening to that trailer because the music is so darn good. I've talked way too much about Super Mario Odyssey. Not really, because you can talk about that forever. That game is just really something. I'm very excited. This actually, the more I think about it, the Switch presentation really did please a lot of my nipples. Like a lot of the stuff that I was like, man, I hope they do this, I hope they do that, I hope they do this. A lot of the stuff they did do that. That made no sense. That was a weird sentence. I have a little bit of a cold, so I'll just use that as an excuse as to whenever I don't make sense. The other reason I bring that up, though, is because we're going to move on to talking about Mario Kart 8. And Mario... Bring. Hello? Mario Kart 8? What's that? You have a battle mode now? That was weird. Mario Kart 8's got a battle mode. Oh, Mario Kart 8 already had a battle mode. Stop. You know it didn't. It's a real battle mode, actual battle maps, they look great, and get this, my little chickadees, not only did they add real battle maps to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, but they adjusted the rules, which makes me so happy because, first of all, it proves that I'm a genius and I really should be a game designer, because everybody else was like, oh yeah, if they added stages, it'd be great. If they just had battle maps, this would be great. Wrong. There were other problems. The respawn time when you got hit by something was way too quick. If you've played battle mode, you could kill somebody with triple green shells instantly. You just go boom, 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 and they're dead. You could just camp by somebody and kill them right away. They changed that. You can get away from somebody after they hit you a lot easier. You have more of a refresh time. Next up, they changed the way, you know how you would get eliminated in Mario Kart 8? Which really sucked, because oftentimes you would be hit by just random green shells that you couldn't really stop because they came out of nowhere. And so after you lose 3 balloons, you're out. You're just a ghost. Whenever I play with Nick, because we've actually played the battle mode in Mario Kart 8 more than any logical human being ever should. Yeah, we're not logical human beings, so that doesn't really work there. But you know what I mean? Like, we've played it a lot. You'd be surprised. We actually, like, he'll call me up and be like, let's play Mario Kart 8's battle. And we're both like, oh, God, okay. Where was I going with this thought? Oh, so you'd be a ghost. Well, whenever you get killed, there could be like a minute and a half left in the match. So for a minute and a half, you either just put the controller down and just go to the computer and do something else, or you drive around as a ghost, only collecting bananas and green shells, and not getting any points. And it's like, oh yeah, but now you can get revenge on who killed you. Who cares? It's boring. That's not fun. Furthermore, being killed by a ghost sucks. If there's like a minute left and there's only like me and another guy playing and everybody else is a ghost, I got news for you. The odds of me or the other guy dying because of each other are incredibly low. The ghost would kill one of us instead, so it just sucked. Went off on a huge tangent there, but if you know me, that's the type of stuff I gotta do. My point is, you no longer have that. There's no ghost anymore. They don't have the stupid ghost system. You start with 5 balloons. When you lose all 5 of your balloons, you get them back. I think you get 3 balloons when you come back in, maybe. I don't know, but they respawn you. You're back into the game. You get to play for the entire time. However, you get punished for doing that. They take away half your points, which is nice. That is the way it was in Mario Kart Wii, and it worked really well. I know everybody's like, yeah, but it should be elimination because Mario Kart 64. I have fond memories of Mario Kart 64 playing with friends locally. Yeah, but it doesn't work like that online. Nobody wants to be sitting out online. It sounds like they've got some rules, though. Like, you can adjust the rules playing locally or just playing with your friends. They were talking about how you can change things. Like, one of the things I really like, this was a problem in Mario Kart Wii. We never played Mario Kart Wii's battle locally, because even if I was playing, like, me, Nick, Tyler, Snacks, you know, we all got together, me and, like, some friends, you still had to play with the damn computer players. And you still had to play on a team. So it sucked, and there's no way to change that. In Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, in the battle mode, you can actually just play with human people. You don't have to have the computer players in. But if you like that, you can have it. So it sounds like there are some options there, which I really like. Bob-omb Blast is back, and it is the real Bob-omb Blast. So you can get a whole bunch of bombs at once. Yeah, it's just everybody, the whole thing is just bombs, big colorful bomb explosions. They match the color of your balloons. And you can get more than in Double Dash. In this game, you can hold, I think it's up to 10. You can collect 10 bombs at once. I think somebody said you can even throw them all at once. I haven't seen that, but somebody's told me that. So feel free to comment below if you've seen that or heard confirmation of that. Because like throwing all the bombs at once, That'd be incredible. The only downside is you don't physically see the bob-ombs stacking up in the character's hands. You just see one bob-omb, which is a little bit of a disappointment, but I get it, because the game probably wouldn't run smoothly with 8 people all having bob-ombs. In Double Dash, they would stack up, which was kind of a cool thing to see, but I'm not really complaining about that. Balloon Battle looks great too. You know, I like the fact that we got, like, so far the courses are Urchin Underpass from Splatoon. We've also got Luigi's Mansion returning from the GameCube. It looks amazing. Halloween week this year in 2017. Spoiler alert, we're definitely playing that on Halloween week this year. We'll play it before that, maybe. No, maybe we won't. Maybe we should avoid that. I think we'll avoid it. I got distracted again. Oh, then we also got Super Nintendo Battle Course 1, which looks really neat. And the other one is... Oh, I hate myself for not remembering. It's a new one, I think. I can't remember what the other battle map is. Oh, it's the Mario Stadium. Or it's called Battle Stadium, I think. And it's just like a cool... It's kind of themed like... You remember there's like a Mario Kart Stadium in Mario Kart 8. It's like the battle map version of that. So there are 4 maps confirmed. Obviously, we need more than that. We need at least double that. And I don't see any reason why there shouldn't be. If you're going to sell me Mario Kart again for $60, you better at least have more. I can't imagine they're like, yeah, let's make some battle maps. Okay, 4, that's enough. So there's got to be more than 4. I would be really happy if there were 8. 8 is kind of the minimum. Well, maybe 7. But 7 would be an odd number. So let's go with 8, Nintendo. Give us 8 battle maps or more, and I will be perfectly happy. Actually, you might even be able to do 4 retro and 4 new. Or 5 retro and 5 new. Whatever, I don't care. I'm happy with it. I just know that it's like, oh man, I'm so excited to be able to play battle mode in Mario Kart. I'm so excited that I'm willing to pay another $60 for the game, and then a whole bunch of money for extra controllers, and then also pay to play it online. I'm spending a small fortune to play the mode that I should have been able to play in 2014, but I don't care, because battle mode is back. It's really good. I'm very happy about that. I'm like really, really genuinely happy about being able to play battle mode online. I've waited so long, and I had so much hope. And it's really happening. And they fixed it. They truly fixed it. So I could go on, but yeah. One of the things that I like that they added to Mario Kart 8's battle mode, and it might be in the racing as well, there's a little message that pops up when you get hit or when you hit somebody, and it says like who you hit or who hit you. I like that, because if you've played battle mode seriously, you know that you kind of like to find 1 or 2 people that you really hate. Like Slam Dunk 95. Ooh, Nick, let's go after Slam Dunk 95. Let's make Slam Dunk 95's life a living hell. Maybe we're just demonic, but I like the fact that you can see who's doing things to you to sort of get a rivalry going. I got really exhausted talking about Mario Kart 8's battle mode, but it's so good. Okay, we gotta move on. I don't care that there's no new racetracks, to be honest with you. There's already so many to begin with. I want all of their attention on this project to be towards the battle mode. Also, by the way, on the Treehouse Live segment, they did tease. They said there's going to be more ways to play the battle mode other than Balloon Battle and the Bob-omb Blast mode. So there's more ways. Also, by the way, I don't know if you realize this. I tweeted about this. There are some screenshots for the battle mode in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe where the characters don't have balloons. Which is weird, because what is that about? What? So that might be Shine Thief, I'm thinking. Because that would be the only explanation. So there's apparently a battle mode where nobody has balloons. Try to figure it out in the comments if you want. But there are definitely screenshots of that. And they're not racing in the battle maps, because you can see they're going different directions, some of the characters. So they wouldn't do that. So, interesting. But I like that. There's still more secrets about Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. That's cool. It doesn't launch until April 11th or something like that. It's in April. So they got some time still to make sure that they get some more polish in that. I'm excited. I kind of would like more characters. Professor Egad. Why the hell is Professor Egad? Take away King Boo and put Professor Egad in there, I would say. What else was shown? Oh, there's that little game, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. I don't think anybody's excited about that, though, so we probably don't have to talk about it. It looks kind of stupid. I don't think anybody's excited about that. Just kidding. That trailer looked amazing. That trailer was everything I've wanted to see with The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Like, I felt like we needed that. Because up until this most recent trailer at the Switch presentation, it was a lot of, like, melodical, slow Link in this... It was like a more mysterious vibe. We needed the action, the intensity, the explosions, the weird creatures, bosses and stuff, and this delivered on that. Also, voice acting. I like it. I'm not one of those weeaboos who's like, ugh, I don't like the English voice acting. There better be Japanese options for the American build. How do you know the Japanese voice acting isn't crappy? If you don't fluently speak Japanese, for all you know, it could be terribly read, terribly delivered. Yeah, I'm happy with it. You know, I think Princess Zelda's voice at times in that trailer sounded a little crappy, but we'll see. Maybe they were just sort of bad examples of what it sounds like. Everything else sounds good. Voice acting in Zelda, I am so ready for that. I know some people fought against it. I've been very pro voice acting for a while in Zelda. So it looks, I mean, it's great. I love it. I am still a little tiny, there's a tiny little morsel of concernity inside of my body. And the only thing I'm still concerned with this game is I still want the very unique themed dungeons. Because as of right now, Breath of the Wild is kind of delivering on what it says. It's in the wilderness, and that's it. I want to see some unique, fun temples. You know, I want to see that kind of stuff. I assume we will. And I know there's going to be some little smarty pants in the comments that's going to be like, it's called Breath of the Wild, and this guy's worried that there's too much wilderness. I want the wilderness, but I also want temples. This game was in development since I was 3 years old, so it should have some temples, for God's sakes. So yeah. It's good. It's good. I mean, I don't know what more I could say about that game. It looks absolutely delicious. I'll have such a blast playing that. And oh my God, you guys, we're going to be playing that in like a month and a half. Think about that. A month and a half, we're all going to be snuggled up playing some Breath of the Wild. Sweet Jesus. That is amazing. So yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. Was there anything else that was shown? Oh, what's the name of the game? It's not, what is it? It's the little game where you cut things. I kind of want to go look for what it is now. I'm going to look. I'm going to actually physically type this in, which is the best way to type something, using a physical motion. We're going to go to Nintendo.com, because I really want to get the name right, because last time I was talking about it, I didn't mention the name, and I had the name before I started recording this, so we're just going to go ahead. Nintendo doesn't really have a lot of, like, their website's kind of poorly designed here for the Switch. You can't just go to games. Stop. You got to go to, like, Family File. I got to click, like, 5 different things just to see the damn games. Where is it? There we go. Snipper Clips. That was worth it, right? Snipper Clips looks absolutely amazing. It is, oh my God. It seems like it was made by Skip, the Chibi Robo guys and gals. Essentially, you're these little characters, and you cut into each other to solve puzzles. There's a lot of different challenges. Sounds like it's going to be $15. I think that's what it says. I think the price is even there. Let's click on Snipper Clips. Oh, it looks so cute. It's so stylized. Oh, it's $20. So I'm pretty sure this is, I think this is a download game. And it's going to be available in March. I don't think this is launch. It just says March 2017. You know what that says to me? The fact that Snipper Clips is a downloadable game and they're not giving an exact March 3rd release, I don't think that the eShop is going to be available on launch. They might do something like the Wii. Didn't the Wii... Well, no, the Wii had it available on launch, didn't it? The 3DS. The 3DS didn't have the eShop available at launch. They might be doing one of those things. So I think later in March is when we'll see the eShop launch. I'm just speculating. I just think it's kind of weird that they're not specifically calling the downloadable game a day one launch day game. I'm going to the Japanese site because I could have sworn on Nintendo.co.jp they actually did say that it's a launch game. So maybe the eShop will be available in Japan before it's available in the rest of the world? I don't know. But anyway, Snipper Clips is a game I really, really can't wait to play. Spoiler alert, we're going to do episodes of The Fold for Snipper Clips, and one of the things I'm going to do instantly is I'm just going to go over to Nick's little character. I'm like, okay, Nick, let's work together. And then I'm just going to snip him to pieces and just shred him so he's nothing but little beady eyes. And I'm sure we will not work together very well because of that, but you know what? It's the way we roll on The Fold. I'm just kind of going over this real quick to make sure I didn't miss out on anything. Bomberman looks pretty cool. I'm excited for that Bomberman game. I'm definitely going to get that. I think it's like for 8 players simultaneously. Looks pretty cool. Looks like it's genuine Bomberman and not some weird... Oh, no, it is March in Japan as well, Snipper Clips. So I'm thinking I'm right. I'm thinking I'm right on that. I don't think that this Switch is going to launch with the eShop ready. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't think I am. It says 1 to 4 people for Snipper Clips. But yeah. So cool. Very cute. But yeah, Bomberman is another one I'm going to get. I think here at the BitBlock, we are probably going to cover every single launch game. I think there's even a few launch games in Japan that are not coming to the rest of the world, which I'm going to get. I'm trying to figure out if I'm going to... The system is not region locked, which is good. I'm trying to figure out, though, if... Because I don't think you can access the Japanese eShop from any other system. You can play physical games in any system, but I don't think you can get to the eShop from any system. So I think what I'm going to need to do is I think I will need to buy a Japanese Switch so that I can get the downloadable games from it. So, yeah. I don't know. Maybe I don't. I don't know. I'll figure that out. But I think that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about, right? We did everything. Talked a lot about Mario Kart. Zelda looks amazing. Snipper Clips looks just as good as Zelda in its own ways. But yeah. Oh, Splatoon 2, of course. People were, I heard you yelling. You guys are going, oh my god, he's not going to talk about Splatoon? This guy's a jackass. He's not going to discuss Splatoon? So Splatoon, to me, looks, from what we've seen, looks like a kind of play-it-safe sequel. I think that they figured we don't have to reinvent the wheel here. Let's just add to it. We'll probably give it a more interesting story mode, even though the story mode was pretty good in the original. But I think they'll probably expand on that. But I think it will ultimately be kind of like the difference between Pikmin 2 and Pikmin 3. It's a better game, but still very similar to what its predecessor was. I love all the new weapons. I really, for some reason, I like those like big, giant, dual wielding weapons. I love that storm cloud that the guy shoots up, and then there's like a rainy ink everywhere. That's really wacky and cool. More of that. That's what I liked in the first game, like the weird, crazy weapons. That's the stuff I want to see more of. Definitely looks like they're doing that. Oh, they have the hover nozzle now, where you can just hover on like this jetpack, and your ink is squirting down, and you can still fire. That's totally FLUDD. That's totally Super Mario Sunshine when you see it. That looks really cool. It's one of your specials. But it just looks great. Splatoon 2 looks great. I'm so happy it's a true sequel. It looked like there are some, like I said, there's more to the story based on some of the scenes they were showing us. I like the new plaza. The new plaza looks neat. The shoe style is better than in the original game, so big thumbs up from Joshi. Big thumbs up from JT Style. And yeah, Splatoon 2 just looks great. I don't have a lot to say about it. It's a play-it-safe sequel that looks really cool. I can't wait to play it. Really happy it's coming out in the summer. That's the perfect time to release it. So, yeah. Those are my thoughts, my final thoughts on the Nintendo Switch presentation. And, to close, I just want to say that even though there are some things that I'm still unsure of, some things my initial reaction was appalled or bored and uninterested. Some things that my initial reaction was, oh my god, this is fantastic. It was a mixed bag, the presentation. Now that I've had more time to think, more time to let things settle in and really learn more about them, I think for the most part, I'm going to give everything a chance. Even 1-2 Switch, which I don't know how much I'll love. It's maybe it's genius. You just can't convey how fun it is through a trailer and a presentation. It looks boring that way. I am very hopeful. Like I said at the beginning of this video, I have a good feeling about the Nintendo Switch. Let's look at it this way. Let's end this video by saying this. I, Josh Thomas, think that it is scientifically and mathematically impossible for the Switch to fail. I want to say why I think that. Here's why. Imagine every game that came out on the Nintendo 3DS. And imagine every game that came out on the Wii U. Put those games on one system. You would have a major success. In fact, just think of the games that have come out between any game, even some on the Wii, between 2010 and 2016. In that 6-year period, if every game that came out on the Wii, the Wii U, and the 3DS were on one system, that system would have one of the most immensely fantastic libraries of Nintendo games ever. That is essentially what we're getting with the Switch. The Switch is taking everything into one system. And I think that reason alone, mathematically, the Switch will not fail. As long as Nintendo keeps pumping out fun games that are made intelligently and have a lot of passion put into them. And as long as they keep pushing forward with new ideas, but new ideas that are good. And listening to the fans. Listen to the fans. Look at what happens when you listen to the fans. You get great things, Nintendo. Give us a real Paper Mario game on the Switch. Give us a real Mario Party game on the Switch. I truly feel like it's going to happen. I really feel that the Switch is going to be this system where we're constantly saying, oh my god, Nintendo's going back to their roots. They're making it the way we wanted it. We've already seen it with Mario and Zelda. Breath of the Wild is Nintendo going back to their roots. They're making it like the original Zelda game. So I think we're going to see so much great software on the Switch from Nintendo alone that it's just going to succeed because of that. And then you got to keep in mind, like, even the eShop games that were on the 3DS, like Dylan's Rolling Western and Pushmo and all that stuff, that'll be on there too. So I just think for that reason alone, and more reasons, the Switch is going to be a success. I don't know if it's going to be as big of a success as the Wii. The Wii was like a phenomenon. You know, that kind of thing doesn't happen. That happens like once every 20 to 30 years. It's not going to see Wii levels of success, I don't think. But I think it will trounce the Wii U. I think it will outperform the GameCube. I think I see the Switch as being more of a healthier success. With the Wii, it was like a huge thing, and it went for like 3 years really, really strong. But then it kind of it went from like, whoa, to boom. It just kind of instantly started to fall because it was, you know, a phenomenon. And I don't want to call it a fad. It wasn't a fad. The Wii is one of my favorite consoles, and Nintendo deserves all credit for making that a success. It's got so many fantastic games, but it was one of those things that just captivated the world for about a 3-year period. And it had very high highs and pretty low lows towards the end. With the Switch, I don't think we're going to see that. I think we're going to see a very healthy, steady flow of success. And so as long as Nintendo keeps that promise that they're going to have really cool games coming out on a nice, consistent basis. By the way, Nintendo, every 2 months, every 3 months, that's not consistent. It's got to be like every month there are a few cool things coming to the system. And it's got to be the heavy hitters, the Splatoons, the Mario Karts, the Smash Brothers, the Zeldas, the Metroids, the Pikmins, the Animal Crossing. Those are your heavy hitters. Those have to be every couple months. And then in between those couple months, you have to have stuff like Snipper Clips and some of the smaller things, you know, the new IPs like ARMS and 1-2 Switch. Give us a sequel to Wii Sports Resort. I'd like that a lot. I was going to end this, but I do want to very quickly say I'm a huge fan of the fact that the Joy-Con controllers have motion control. I've heard some people say, oh, why are they putting motion control in it? Jim Sterling, for example, was saying it's Nintendo being Nintendo and doing something stupid. I cannot disagree with that more. If there were not motion controls in the controllers, and if there was not IR functionality in the controllers, I would have been very disappointed. I'm super happy to see Nintendo is covering all their bases with this. Motion controls were not a fad. I hate to break it to you, they weren't. They are a genuine way to play a video game, and they always will be, I think. And so keeping that alive, being able to still have the fun motion control games is good. It's just a matter of making sure that you do it, Nintendo and third parties. Have fun with motion controls. They're a legitimate way to play video games. Now, don't put them in where they don't belong. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying build stuff from them. And yeah, I'm very happy to have that. Pikmin's going to be on the Switch someday. Please, God, let it be good. But I don't want to play Pikmin where I don't get to do this. This is how you play Pikmin. You point at the screen with IR functionality, and you move with an analog stick. That is Pikmin control perfected. I can't go back to 2 analog sticks. So I'm super happy to see that the Joy-Cons are definitely capable of doing this. Maybe even better than the Wii Remote Plus and Nunchuck setup, because it seems like it's a really advanced setup. Also, as far as the Joy-Cons go, I'm going to end this by saying what I said in the discussion with Mr. Rogers Base. Anybody who gets the plain gray Joy-Cons by choice is a garbage person, because the true MLG gamers are all about the colorful neon Joy-Cons. The blue and the hot pink, that is where it's at. Very 1990s style. I missed when Nintendo would make colorful game consoles. I think the GameCube is one of the coolest looking video game consoles. I don't care what anybody says. So I like the fact that it was indigo purple. So it's cool. It's very cool to see that there are going to be colors with the Switch controllers. So yeah, and right out of the box, it's like that's a bundle. So that's really cool. I'm definitely hashtag team 90s Switch colors. Horrible hashtag. All right, I'm going to end this because it is at about 40 minutes, and I'm sure you guys have gotten tired of listening to me. I'm very excited about the Switch. This is a positive, good generation for Nintendo. Not everything's going to be great. There will probably be a couple times where we'll be like, oh my god, Nintendo, what the hell are you doing here? But hopefully it's very, very few and far between when we have to feel like that. So yeah, I'm ready. My body is ready to switch. I don't know what that meant. I'm going to end the video now. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and keep it locked right here to the BitBlock for a lot more Nintendo stuff.